Hi, it's Doug Holt with Author of Your Own Story, and in today's episode, we're going to revisit one of our most popular daily growth hacks. So grab your notebooks and remember, the key to success is doing the work. Let's get started. Today's topic, your business's first impression. Hi, I'm Doug Holt with Author of Your Own Story, and this is your Daily Growth Hack, where each day we give you a tip, trick, or insight to help you up-level what we call the 5 to Thrive. That is your mind, your body, your soul, your relationships, and your business. Today I'm going to talk to business owners, and I'm going to talk to you about what is your first impression, or what is the first impression your business gets. Now today, it's all online. Now we all know that, right? But as business owners, how often is that missed? You know, I was talking to one of my clients today, and we were talking about his business, and he was working on this very sophisticated marketing funnel, and it was really neat, except for the fact he missed his main first impression, or what I call your home base, which is your website. Now, why is this important? Well, every time we do a search on the internet, now when somebody does a search, it's a search of intent. It's a search where you're actually trying to solve a problem. You're looking for a solution. Now, maybe you're looking for the best coffee shop in your area or best personal training studio, or maybe you're looking for a solution to a problem. Like, how do I start my own business? Or how do I know what SEO is or search engine optimization? There's all kinds of questions people ask. And so when doing this as a business owner, your first impression or your home base is going to be your website. It's even more important, I would say, than your storefront in most cases. Now, when I was talking to this client, he was showing me this funnel. I asked him, I said, hey, where do people land at the end of this funnel? Well, on my website, Doug, obviously, he said. And I said this knowingly. I said, well, how is your website performing? If I go onto your website, how is it working? And he just didn't know. So we checked, and I'm going to give you a few resources that you can use right now. Now, if you don't own your own business, what I'd recommend is going and checking this out with the company you work for. If you have an employee, and just check it out and maybe show somebody in the IT department or somebody at the C-suite level. The business owner is always a good idea. But a couple things you can do. One is site speed. Now, Google has an actual URL you can go to. If you go ahead and look at developers.google.com, and it's Page Speed Insights is the tool that I'm referring to. And you can paste the website URL into that and actually see the score. Now it's going to rate you on a score from 0 to 100 for both desktop and mobile. Now, if your product or service is really tailored to the middle class or upper middle class, you want to look much more towards mobile. Conversely, you're also going to want to look at that for people of lower incomes because they don't have computers. So it's kind of the lower middle class that's mostly going to be using laptops or students, depending. But again, this is all shifting, and we're seeing search engine optimization or Google and Bing really diving into page speed. So if you got a score below 80, that's something you want to change right away and hire a professional to help you do that. Also, how does your website rate? And how does it rate against your competitors? So you can go over to brandedinnovation.com and you can actually do a website comparison. And what this is going to do is take you and one of your competitors and do some basic checks and just see some missing elements or potential elements and make sure that you have them in place. Now, if you have them in place, great, you get a gold little badge. And if you don't, you're going to get a red mark. And this will allow you to see exactly where you stand on a very basic level with some of the key elements of search engine optimization. Now, it's also going to show you the same with one of your competitors and also what your rankings might be. Now, this is very, very important. Now, full disclosure, Branded Innovation is one of my companies. So I own the company and I can speak very highly for them, of course, but also this is something that I know really well also. Now, the third thing that you want to do is also when looking at your website is have somebody go on your website and look at their actual intent. What are the first few things that they do? Now, I always recommend putting a heat map behind your website. Now, what a heat map is just a way where you can actually see someone's mouse move through the screen and where their clicks are going on your website. Now, as somebody who's run an agency for many, many years, oftentimes we'll put a heat map in the back of a website once we take it over for marketing, and we'll notice that people are clicking in areas that we didn't necessarily know about, or at least the business owner didn't. For example, they might be clicking on a picture that doesn't go anywhere. Now, if we're seeing clicks on there, those are intent. Those are signs of intent, meaning someone wants something to happen. What we want to do is then go back and change that image to have it click to where we want them to go. So these are 3 basic things that any business owner can do and can do really quickly. and all of them are free. Now, the heat map might cost you money depending on the company you're using, but there's a variety of free heat map sources that are out there. And maybe you require somebody to actually install it for you depending on the website that you're utilizing. So try these 3. Again, if you're an employee, go ahead and try the 3, now anyway, and give it to your boss. It's a great report to get. As always, look at your business from the perspective of where your potential customer is going, but also look at the way that you utilize the internet. When we utilize the internet, we're using it for intent purposes, and your business is no different. So that's my tip for you today. Remember, go out and be the author of your own story. I hope you enjoyed today's Daily Growth Hacks. Please put your comments right down below, and remember to click subscribe. This way we can ensure that we're delivering these daily growth hacks right to you each and every day. On behalf of the whole team here, remember, go out and be the author of your own story.